Our question that we were asking people tonight is, do you think you're a good person? So, do you think you're a good person?
I try to be. I hope I am. Yeah.
Okay. So, do you think you've been good enough that you've kept the Ten Commandments?
I do my best. Yes.
Would you mind if we went through a few and just kind of tested it out?
Sure.
Okay. So, one of the Ten Commandments is, you shall not lie. Have you ever told a lie before?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if someone tells a lie, what does that make them?
Well, it means they've lied. I don't think that doesn't mean they're a liar in all instances, if that's what you're saying.
So, how many lies do you have to tell to make you a liar? Like, if I came up and I told you a lie and I said, I'm actually 7 foot tall, I mean, what would you call me? You'd be like, liar, right?
Yes, and then you would have lied.
Okay.
Made you a liar in that instance, yeah.
Okay. So another of the Ten Commandments is, you shall not covet. So covet is kind of like greedy. Oh man, I really want their car. I want their good looks or whatever. Have you ever coveted before?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So another of the Ten Commandments is, you shall not commit adultery. But Jesus said that if you lust after someone in your own heart, that's the same thing as breaking that commandment. So this is a little awkward, but have you ever lusted after somebody?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. So Jesus would say that makes you an adulterer, correct? If you are lusting after people, God looks at the heart as well as the behavior. So does that kind of make sense?
It makes sense.
Okay. Have you ever taken God's name in vain?
Yes.
Like used it as a cuss word?
As in, oh my God, sort of thing.
Yeah, or instead of saying holy blank, it's it's use Christ or something like that.
That I don't say.
Okay.
But
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I know that I
So
wasn't supposed to say it.
that's called blasphemy.
Yeah.
So you're taking the name of God and you're using it as an expletive essentially. So does that concern you at all? What are your thoughts about that?
I think it's bad.
I think it's bad. Okay.
Yeah.
So just based on going through a few of these Ten Commandments, if you were to stand before God, in judgment, in the Bible, and I'm not sure if you believe that or not, but just hypothetically, if you were to stand before God and based on that standard of the Ten Commandments, would God say you're innocent or guilty?
Guilty of breaking the Ten Commandments? Is that the question?
Yeah.
I clearly would have broken some of them, yes.
Okay.
Guilty of breaking some of them at some point in my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if heaven is, heaven, whether you believe in it or not, if heaven is supposed to be a place where it's perfect and it's pure and it's clean, and there cannot be anything to mess it up, could God let you into heaven if you've broken some of the commandments and you've done some wrong things?
Well, being a Catholic, we believe in purgatory, so I guess that takes care of that.
Okay. Well, my mom was Catholic, so I understand that. So would you consider yourself like a current practicing Catholic or more of an agnostic or?
No, I go to church every week.
Okay. So would you say, are you looking forward to spending time in purgatory?
No, but I certainly do think that I will have things to atone for, and I do and I will. I mean, I'm being human. I'm trying to live the best life that I can, but...
Do you have a Bible?
On me?
Yep.
Not on.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't... We have some if you want some.
I do have one.
Okay. Well, I would encourage you to look at the scripture. And I'm not being Catholic bashing here at all. I'm just saying we're out here tonight talking with people and shooting this film project because we want to make sure people think about the big questions, and that's great that you go to church. But you need to make sure that what people are saying matches up with what's in the Bible, because there's nothing more important than where you end up after you die. And I've studied the scripture a lot, and I don't see anything about purgatory in there. What I do see is that there's only one way to be good, and that's to trust completely on Jesus' death on the cross. We cannot undo a bad deed by suffering or by doing a good deed. That's like this is my friend Megan over here. If I killed her brother, I can't just do a good deed and say, oh, I gave some money to the poor, so therefore, I'm not guilty. No, I deserve punishment. And the whole reason for Jesus to come down is not so he could live a good life and teach us good principles, so that's part of it, but it's he took my punishment because I've broken the Ten Commandments, and I'm a bad person inside, according to God's standard. So that's what I would encourage you with tonight.
Well, yeah, I think we're coming from very different places.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yep, I interpret things a lot differently, and I think, but I'm very secure in my faith, and I believe what I believe, and it's certainly directed me in a certain direction and affecting the life and what I want to do with my life. So I think that my religion's serving me quite well.
Okay. Well,
I appreciate
okay.
your thoughts.
Yeah. Well, how do you know what you believe is true? Does it just feel right, or what?
I think that's, in a sense, a poor question, because you would ask that of anyone who believes specifically any religion, but there's no proof for it. I mean, this religion's right for me, and I know it's right for me, and I'm not looking for anything else, and I certainly have friends of a lot of different religious backgrounds. My dad's actually Jewish, and
Really? Okay.
my mom's Catholic, yep. I've been raised Catholic, and that works for me, so
Okay.
that's my take on it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess, like you said, we come from a little bit different perspective, and I respect that. But we can't all be right. Someone's got to be wrong. If the Buddhists believe one thing, if the Christians believe one thing,
Well, maybe, but there's also some, there's the old Hindu adage that all rivers flow to the same ocean. Sort of a sense that if you believe in God and it helps you be a good person, then I think my God's big enough for different things.
Yeah.
So yeah, we come from very different places, which is fine. I'm probably not
Yeah.
what you believe, but that's okay. So.
Yeah. Just make sure you're not creating your own God. Let me just encourage you with that.
I am, but thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right. Well, what was your name again? I'm sorry. Corinne. All right. Well, thank you for talking to us.